Well, for the last week, a lot of people have been getting angry with YouTube over something that honestly, I don't really understand why it is people are upset about this one thing in particular. But recently YouTube announced that they have an intention to, they've made the decision that they're going to take the dislike button away. Effectively, they're going to hide dislikes on everybody's videos. And so while people can still click dislike, it doesn't really, it's not going to show up on something that can be seen by anybody other than the creator anymore. And apparently, a lot of creators are actually pretty upset with that. Now, I have to say that for the life of me, I don't really understand why. As a matter of fact, I think that if YouTube were to take away that dislike button altogether, that it would, it would be a much better platform. And this is why. So there is a tendency amongst, smaller-minded people, when they're interacting with YouTube creators, there's a lot of people that just want to screw with you for no damn good reason. And actually, we've seen quite a bit of it on this channel. Now, numerous people have talked about the dislike button as a form of, people have talked about the dislike button as a form of engagement between creators and their audience. And I have to be real with you, I don't see it that way. And if it is a means of engagement at all, I don't view it as a very high quality. And this is specifically why. I mean, if the audiences, greatly desire a means by which they can express their disapproval of a particular video, or tell somebody that they don't think that the content is very good, there actually is a place where they can do that, and that is right there in the comments section. And the comments section is actually a much higher quality means of engagement than a stupid little dislike button. Because when somebody makes a comment on your video, at least you can interact with them. If they make a comment and you don't think it's particularly fair, you can respond to them, and you can reply to that, and you can say anything back to them that you might think about what they say to you. Now, not all creators are, let's face it, not all creators are necessarily mature enough to have adult conversations about that. I'm sure that a lot of creators, they don't want to have those kinds of conversations with every single person that leaves a comment on your video, but at least you can speak up for yourself. One place where you can absolutely never reply, you can never respond to somebody clicking the dislike button. It doesn't give you any means, to have a conversation with them about what it is that they think that they may or may not like about your video. And the truth is that sometimes it isn't anything about that video at all. Sometimes it's just people being petty, people being trolls. Sometimes it's a means, that dislike button is a means of platform manipulation. Because let's face it, when somebody clicks that dislike button, it does have a tendency to be factored into the YouTube algorithm when they decide what it is that will make the homepage and what it is that won't. One thing that I do like about the comment section rather than the dislike button is that it doesn't really allow a troll to masquerade as somebody who actually has like a valid criticism. It doesn't allow a troll to masquerade as a constructive critic the way that the dislike button does. Now, I'll say this much, what I'm saying right now is not really, it's not the popular opinion. There's a lot of creators that disagree with me. There's a lot of small creators in particular that disagree with me. Let's face it, I think right now, I have gotten to the point now where I have seen some of my videos make it to the front page of YouTube, which is great. In particular, the Kevin Lowe video from last week made it to the front page of Twitter, at least for a spell. That was actually pretty cool to see. But aside from that, in terms of small creators, I've got 53 subscribers right now. That's a lot more than the first time that somebody was trying to make fun of that. But hey, in terms of small creators, right now they don't get much smaller than this podcast. Let's be real about that. So in terms of what small creators think, in terms of what's good for small creators, I think that I do have some voice in this. I would actually like to hear back from some of the other small creators that have a different view on me. Go ahead, drop your comments in the comment section there, because I do like to engage with comments. I'd like to hear what you think.